This is vacation. I chose to do this. Let me tell you why I choose to. Aaron, you sound a little angry. Yeah, I'm a little angry. I can see it right there. There's this little mouse, the world's dumbest mouse. Is I thought he was inside my recording studio on the window, like it was Spider Mouse. He was able to climb glass. Turns out he chewed through. He's still chewing through it. The um the screen on the outside, and he's climbing around on that. And I had intentions to relax. I was almost there, guys. I was almost there. Sitting in my garage, smoking a cigar, just relaxing because I had bought a. You got to do one errand a day. You can't just do nothing for an entire period unless you're a Democrat. Unless you're a government worker. That's what you guys are paid to do. Nothing for an entire day. On repeat. Like, oh my God. But it pays good. And I don't know what brought me. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was down here. And I'm going through all my old backup drives to get all the old pictures because there's still a little bit of room left over on the walls on Cappy's compound. And I'm saying like, yeah, it's time to let's do the finishing move, fatality. I got 2.5 retaining walls done out of 4. It's a garter, RG. What does it look like to you? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go through and find some pictures from way back in the day. You know, my backed up file. I'm gonna find some good pictures, blow them up into those picture frames where it's printed on canvas. They're kind of boxy, and I'm gonna hang them up. Finish decorating the house. I got my tabletop Pac-Man, not original, costs way too much. I got my shuffleboard, which is not assembled. That's another story. About the only thing left is a poker table. Nothing fancy. I want like a poker table that flips upside down and has roulette on the back. I don't know if that exists. But then the it's done. The house is done. That's it. Minor things, very minor things. So I come down here, I'm going through the files. Oh, that's a good picture. Oh, I remember that. I look up to my right, and there he is. He's right there. Stupid, dumb mouse. And so I think like, oh my God, is he on the window? So I go up, I kind of move the curtain a little bit. And not only is there a mouse there, there's a prairie dog. This is in the kind of the gully area. Like, what the hell? So now what is Cappy? Cappy's got to go get rodent poison. I got to fight the rodents. And this one, I don't know how it hasn't gotten eaten. I shoot him out down. He's bitten a bunch of holes. Oh, by the way, now I got to get a new screen. I got to get the screen device, you know, the thing that pushes the thing, which doesn't work. I should just buy a screen. I'll just buy a screen. I got to reinstall the screen. Mouse is pissing me off. I don't like killing mice, but that one I'm going to kill. And so now it's like, okay, I might as well get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get this podcast done because there's a lot to talk about. Yes, and Jennifer, I'm crippled, which is another reason because I'm actually in pain right now. And because of the mouse and I don't know, groundhog, prairie dog friend, I'm in a pissed off mood. And I'm like, all right, I got at least 2 hours until the poker game. You know, I was gonna sit and relax. Can't do that when it's 92 degrees outside. I'm like, okay, I'll just go record. I'll just get this done and over with. That'll carry me over to the point in time I got to go to whatever Ace. I get to go back up to town. Go to Ace Hardware or Menards and buy rodent poison. I found a hole in my yard. I stuck the hose in it, flooded that thing out. Didn't know what it was. I'm like, that's a critter. That don't belong here. And this is all in the backdrop where I was busting ass on those retaining walls. You're not taking vacation. Shut up. got good exercise, didn't have to go to the gym working on retaining walls. You're just moving rocks all the time. That's all you're doing. Moving rocks. I put in 2 beautiful retaining walls. Follow YouTube to the letter because I don't need tradesmen because you guys wouldn't show up anyway. Is retaining the dirt behind the wall. Looks like everything's good. I even added extra rocks on the side to maintain the corners. I start digging the 3rd retaining wall. We had some rain recently, so it's a little wet, a little heavy. I'm like, I'm going to let it be. I'm going to let it dry out because we're not going to have rain for the next couple days. All of a sudden, way down the road or the driveway, I hear a car. I can hear them. And I think, like, that's a little louder, the car, and it's whatever, the FedEx man or the UPS man. No, delivery guy. And he has my shuffleboard. This is like the final piece, you know? This is the last thing I got to assemble. The poker table really can be postponed because I don't have that many people visiting anyway. And I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be the final touch, And so he's got 2 boxes. One's full of the legs and the other one's the actual board, which is all assembled after I take it off the box. I look like, oh, this whole thing is assembled. Thank God I don't have to do it. But here's a guy, professional moving guy. And we get the thing, the lifting thing, that kind of thing. So you go up and we're lifting the tabletop to the shuffleboard thing. And it's heavy. It's really heavy. So we get into the thing and I'm like, okay, well, let's lower this because I know everyone's an idiot. I don't assume people know how to do their job. I assume they don't know how to do their job. You know why I assume that? Because they don't know how to do their job. So I said, just lower this to about here so both him and I can get underneath it and carry this thing. So we lift it off. Now, I have been taking my vitamins. I have been going to the gym, or more recently to the retaining wall, the chapel of the retaining wall, and much penance and much work and much sacrifice and flagellation. It's a word, I think. And so I'm in shape and I'm carrying my end. This guy, oh, I gotta set it down. Like super quick, set it down. What does Cappy do? Oh, crap. So I set mine down real quick, pull my back. Now I'm crippled. I'm not really crippled, but I sure as heck can't work on a retaining wall. So that annoys me. And there's my we could only get into the garage. We could only nurse the table into the garage. So I couldn't get into my house. And it's going to be at least, well, you guys have pulled your back, right? You guys do manual labor. You guys aren't like Chad Elkins where it's like click, mouse, hit button, right? Oh my goodness. Dabbing your sweaty brow with a rag because it was so hard balancing the debits and credits. You guys know what it's like. Can't get out of bed. You're like pushing up, making sure. So now I'm like, I get to do light errands, light. Don't get to finish the retaining walls. Don't get to have that completion. It's done. It's over. No, I gotta like, okay, what can a crippled Cappy do? And so I like, well, I could get a shop vac. I need that. Not at the cleaning the garage stage yet. I got all the gravel sitting in front of the garage so the flat shovel can scoop underneath and get the gravel to put it in the wheelbarrow to take it to the place where you're going to put in the retaining wall. And so I'm already a little, in physical pain. Kind of that's like having a woodpecker going tack 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 tack. Being married. I kid. It's nowhere near that bad. Just this dull, annoying, constant pain. So I'm already perturbed. I get the shop vac. I like, okay, I suck up all the Black Widow spiders. I'm a little happy about that. Sit down, have a cigar. GF is gone, by the way. Cappy's bacheloring it for the next week or so. Went to visit the family. And I'm like, I gotta kill some time. And I was like, just about to just chill out and relax. Okay, I'll go through some pictures. That'll be nice. That's easy. And then the mouse. I was like, God damn it. Can I just get a break and not my back? And And so that's why I was like, okay, I might as well do the podcast because I'm not just going to sit. It's way too hot upstairs. So I'm downstairs. Nice and cool down here. Fear I might as well, instead of being pissed off, I can use this vicariously. No, that's not the word. As a, what is it? A catharsis. I can yell at you people. Not at you people, but I can yell at the internet, get it out, kill some time, go play poker. Hopefully you have a good night. Not have any more rodents, things, problems. It's not that I'm arguing for perfection, you understand. I'm not going for the perfect. I know there's always problems. I know. I had a female friend. Well, there's always problems. I'm aware. But can it just lay off? Like, there was a time, man, where I think nothing went wrong for like a whopping 3 months. It was great. Nothing, and it's a never-ending thing. There he is. He's right there. World's dumbest mouse. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how he got down there, but he did. I don't want to grab him. I don't want to go down into the thing because then the prairie dog come out and bite me. Now I got rabies. Now I get to go to the hospital again. I went to the clinic earlier today, get the blood test, make sure that cholesterol is good and thick. And so this is related to something else. It's very important. This is one of the main things I want to talk about. I have enough material for like 3 podcasts. Let us talk about work ethic, because now people don't understand this. You see, I know perfect is the enemy of good. I'm not aiming for perfection, but I am aiming for my house to get done. And a couple old timers, oh, we built our house. It's at least 3 years of getting work done. I'm like, not for me, it ain't. Nope. You haven't met Aaron Clary. And I even ran into this with the GF and some friends as well. And you think after, 47 years of the old Capmeister being on the planet, at least the people closest to me would understand. I'm not saying they have to have a deep, atomic level understanding of my philosophy. But if you give me the choice to be a normie conforming inferior, where I do my 8 hours a day, I have my weekends off, and then slowly I just muddle through life, and oh my gosh, I wonder if my life will be normal and average and a complete pissing away of time. Hint, yes, it would be. Or, look, projects don't all neatly fit into 8 hours a day. Some projects will take longer. Some take weeks. Some take months. Some take years. And my goal is to get everything done that needs to be done as quickly as possible. Why? So that I can truly enjoy life. Because it goes back to the old classic example. It's like you had homework because your teachers are I want to keep this relatively monetized. Because your teachers are evil. Teachers are just evil. They give you homework on Friday because they hate children. They're just despicable people. And that had put you at a quandary. Do you do your work while you're waiting for the bus and on the bus to get your homework done? Or do you wait like me until you're actually in class writing down some crap for a book report, completely plagiarizing the synopsis on the back of the book? And even though I was a kid, and thankfully I did have a free mind, and I wasn't terribly concerned about, adult things or responsibility, it always named me in the back of my mind that I always had my homework hanging over me that weekend. And pretty much once I got to college, I'm like, I hate school. I want to get this done as quickly as possible. That was the single biggest project, nonstop project I worked on. Sure, I took off a couple days, but I don't think I ever took off a week. Not a week. Right, Ethan? You just double up when it's Christmas vacation. You just double up, right? On shifts. But it was the biggest, to this date, the biggest in terms of time commitment accomplishment I had. And I graduated 6 months early. I worked full time, and I did it with no debt. And I did without any help from the parents or the government, unlike every child alive today. But tuition was cheaper. Oh, did you vote to print off more money? You did. Oh, did you vote to flood the higher education industry with hundreds of billions of dollars in aid and scholarships? I wonder why tuition's so high. The house is no different, but books is the same thing, right? There's people, take 2 years to write something like called "The Not Plugged In Better Than a Beta." I kid. I like Rich Cooper. He was busy with other things, but it took him 2 years to write the book, I think. Not me. I want it done. Bachelor Pad Economics, 3 months. All my other books, a month or How Not to Become a Millennial. That was 4 months. That was a hard going. There's a lot of research that went into that. And now the house is the same thing. And I knew going into this there'd be a lot of things to do on this house. And when the old man said 3 years, him and his missus, we did really, and they're still working on their house. Friends I've made now visited their house, still working on the house. I'm like, not me. Nothing to critique them. Good people. This stuff gets done. Gets done now. Remember living in the house. GF was still over in the Twin Cities. I'd wake up at 7, wouldn't go to bed till 11. I'd get stuff done. And if you're ever to come to my house, you would see it. You'll see it. But people don't see all the little minutiae and details, like putting on handles, the floating shelves. Paint. They got to get painted. They got to be cut right. You got to drill the holes into them. You got to find the studs. Got to get the right anchors. You got to research all this on the internet. You got to order the parts. They give you the wrong part. Why? Because we have a bunch of morons in this country. I got to order it again. Got to drill and put it in there. The storage. I got the garage door opens, right? But the ceilings, there's a little bit of room above the garage door when it's open in the ceiling, right? Put some hanging shelving there. I think I'm most proud of that. And cleaning out the garage, getting and basic regular stuff, getting the vehicles up and running, maintaining that. All that for about 1.25 years now. House is pretty much done now. House is pretty much done. And you just make it around that corner, the last corner of that race, you can see the finish line. And then that mouse right there, move the finish line another 50 yards. Look at him, just hanging there like a stupid mouse. It's just like you never get to the finish line. In part because of the mouse, but also stupid people. But I digress. I still don't understand but there is a day coming, it will be finished. It is finished. There is an end. There is a finish line, no matter how much that mouse tries to move it down the straight way, fair way. And then I'm done. And then I can enjoy my weekend. Then I can enjoy the rest of my life. There's nothing left to do. And people don't get that. They don't see that. They don't understand that. I don't want to call it a work ethic. It's a work philosophy. Like, I'd rather get all these projects done now, man, so that I can truly enjoy my time off. Because I've seen people who are absolutely piss poor managers of time. There's one couple in particular that I'm reminded of, but I could recall several others, half a dozen others, where they're such bad managers and stewards of their time that if they get a break, it's just catching their breath, and they're completely worried about the rest of the stuff they didn't do. I'm not kidding. There's going to be nothing left to do with the house. The 4th retaining wall will be put up to handle the solar panels. I got solar panels, for God's solar panels. I'm trying to think of I'm going through old hard drives to find old pictures, digital pictures from maybe, how long has that technology been around? 20 years? Of course, the resolution probably isn't worth blowing up and putting on a painting. But I'm going back to find pictures to finally put up all the artwork on this soundproofing. That took like 5 days, one panel at a time. Holy cow! Went through every book, everything I went through, every box. I got rid of the stuff I wasn't going to use. I even made these lamps where I took blue bands around cigars and red bands around cigars, smoked nothing but blue banded cigars and red banded cigars. So I had enough that I would make a Mod Podge around a white cylinder lamp, just a basic lamp to give it mood lighting. What else? I got cowhide rugs, 2 of them, because they kind of go well with the coloring. Trying to figure out what else. I got my great uncle's. It's a jet. It's a hood ornament in the form of a jet. cylindrical, looks like a Delta wing. And you kind of have a shame. Well, what am I going to do with it? I found a granite place that took a scrap piece of granite, drilled 2 holes in it, and I just epoxied it in there so it's all cool and it's on the on the coffee table. I'm just trying, what else? I could probably look right here. What have I done? What have I done? I've done every little. Oh, I got the Star Wars game fixed. I got what else? All of it. All of it's done. It's just done, and all I gotta do is regular day-to-day work. That's it. The day is coming, and people are like, "Why don't you take a rest? You're working too much. Why don't you relax?" It's like, why don't you shut up and enjoy your truly average, pointless life? Jay Cleary, how you doing? I swear I'm gonna punch people in the face when they ask me that. You complain because I work too much, but then you don't know how I do it. Do you not see it? Are you all just like, I don't know, is there something in the water you're drinking I'm not? Do you guys not see it? And I understand most people don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with that work philosophy. I mean, maybe you're more of the amortization type. You like that work-life balance, you know? Maybe you don't have grandiose plans like I do, where it's like, yeah, I want to do a 3-week rafting trip. I want to reconnoiter Asia for an entire winter. I understand. And maybe you like house, work your 8 hour, you got your weekends, work-life balance. That's not me, but could you recognize it? Because there's nothing worse. I'm not asking people to agree or live their life by it. I'm not even asking people for their support. I'm merely asking that people accept it. And man, do I get guff. And it's not that people are trying to get in your way, but they really slow you down in that bit. That just grains of sand in the engine, bumps in the road. Well, you really oughta. Oh, really? I oughta? Really, Mr. I'm in debt and my wife got fat? Really, Mr. On my second marriage? Really, Mr. You know it all? Is that what I ought to do? I would like for people to cheer it on, like, look what he did. Look at that, man. And now the old timer who I'm friends with, he's highly impressed. And that's when you get an old man, old white guy say, good job. You're like, could you just say son at the end of that? Just good job. You know, I saw you. Good job. When you first moved, I didn't. Oh, the yard. Holy cow. Let me tell you about literally Hitler, tons of rocks, literal tons of rocks I pulled out of an acre of yard. And not to mention 6 truckloads of weeds, because it's tumbleweeds that take a lot of volume. Not those little thin weeds that you did, but those two. And watering, getting it all green. It's all green now. The pond. I didn't have to dredge the pond. It was a swamp at first. Although I will admit, I did have a dirt digger come in and move that out, because I have like a little drainage come through. And there's enough, especially after it rains, that I hate to call it a creek, but there was a swamp. We gotta get rid of the swamp. Built that thing up, laid down stuff. Now I got a clean pond. You could almost go swimming in it if you wanted to. Nice to look at. It's like, and then when people come here, you know, the handful of people like, wow, you did a lot. This place looks great. Yeah, no kidding. The next time you come visit next year, won't be anything different, because it's pretty much done. Everything is where it should be right now. And you know what I'm going to do this summer? I'm going to go and play and goof around. Everything's fixed. Everything. I even got the Southern Command dialed in. All I get to do now, sit down, see if you can understand it, is play. I did my homework on the bus. And now I'm going to enjoy the entire weekend, the entire summer vacation, my entire life. And yes, we will go back to a regularly scheduled program. Yes, I'll be writing books. Yes, I'm going to be doing other projects and things like that. Not around the house, but I'm thinking about getting into distilling. No, I won't drink. I'm going to go have fun. And there won't be, I really gotta do the dishes. How many ladies? I know we got a couple of you here. Jennifer's in here. I don't know how many other ladies are in here. How many of you would love it if your husband or significant other was the honey-do list sniper? He was the honey-do list slayer. He could just, like, if a thing came up on the to-do list, he had to get rid of it. It had to be done before he could enjoy the weekend. Bills are paid the second they come in the mail here. How many of you girls would like that? That level of responsibility, that level of time management. Like when you walked into that, now look, that mouse is still there. But when I'm done with this, and what am I going to do before I go to the poker game? I'm going right down to Ace Hardware. I'm getting some poison for that piece of crap mouse. I don't let things slide. How many of you got projects you've been waiting on 10 years? Got boxes you haven't unpacked since you moved out of college? Not here. It's all ship shape, baby. All ship shape. Now girls are like, oh my God, that's so hot. No, not really. they really aren't that impressed. But you'd like to have it done, right? What would it be like? Sit down, everybody. Come with me on a journey. What would it be like if there was nothing to do at your house or your apartment or your cars or your vehicles? Everything was working great and everything went as it should, and there were no chores for an entire month. And you could take some vacation time. What would imagine that? Not a single worry in the world. And above all else, and here's the real thing, and this is where that work ethic I derived in that hellish environment called college came in. It's all guilt-free. There's no oughta. I really oughta take out the garbage. I really oughta redo that sheetrock. I really oughta fix the vehicle. I really oughta do my will. There's no oughta. There's nothing left on the to-do list. That isn't a current recurring item. And I think that is, it's just me. I know other people can have things, outstanding liabilities, outstanding obligations. But when I get to this level that there's nothing left to do, I'm going to enjoy my free time guilt-free. That's the best. That's the best. Where I could sleep in and there ain't no reason to get up. And I'm perfectly content lying there sleeping in. Why? Because there's nothing to do. I did it all. It's done. It is finished. All done. And but I still love, what are you doing? Why are you working? Why are you like, you see that hill? Yeah. See how it's sliding into the driveway? Yeah. Well, if I don't put a retaining wall by that hill, what's going to happen? We'll slide into the driveway. Right. Well, you can let it go for a day. Yes. And we can look at it every time we drive past it. You come visit Nick, you say, oh, hey, that hill slid a little bit more into the driveway. Yes, it did, didn't it? Not the house of Cappy. I walk in like, wow, look at this. Look at this. Mouse is still there. I wonder if I should try to capture the mouse and mail him as a pet. The bidding at the mouse will start at $5 plus shipping. I don't think you could ship a living mouse. Yeah, you're right here. Good. Bliss, South Dakota. Downright. Darn right. Like, what am I going to do today? Whatever I want, because I did it all in a year and a half. Let's go through the super chats really quick. Got some of the regulars in here. Athamal Decua to a Cappy broke. We need to take you to the mechanic. No, I just need to lie down and relax. It's not that bad. It's just the finish line is right there. I can see it, but there's a retaining wall and a half, which is your job, by the way, Mr. Mexican. I don't know why I'm doing your job here. I had to mow my own yard, by the way, too. Although I did look at mowers. Riding lawnmowers, $5,500. Guess Cappy be using the pushing lawnmower for the foreseeable future. Yeah, and the mechanic, I got a schedule for one of my cars to like get its annual maintenance. It's done. Done. I just need to rest up, but I've been doing minor stuff, but it's just the stuff where I need my back to assemble that shuffleboard and to put in the retaining walls, I need my back. And this is one of those things where it's like, oh, I feel better, I'm gonna go crack at it. Like, no, you gotta, now that you have to feel better, you got to give it about a day more at least, if not 2 full days before you start looking. And I'll admit one thing: being crippled, being hurt, it forgives you. The guilt goes away because it's like, I can't do it. I literally physically can't do it. It's like when I want to, I don't know, fix the motorcycle. If I don't get the part, I can't do it. So I don't worry about it that day. It's kind of the same thing here. So there's a little bit of forgiveness in being injured. But oh, guys, I'm so close, so close. It's like that last stroke of the brush on a painting. It's just right there. But I can't use my hands because I broke them. I'm going to post a picture of the mouse. Strangeosity, a new guy, $2. Please bury mouse in shoebox like Poltergeist. Okay. I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid. That's like, what, 30 years old almost? It's got to be. Athmel Decua, $5. Now get to lose against me again in your very own shuffleboard in your own house. If your back ever heals up, that is, please go to the I'm not going to the chiropractor. I've pulled my belt. Look, wait. Where are you from? Are you from Winnetka? Are you from Edina? I thought you were from Mexico. I thought you were from a poorer than average family in Mexico, of all places. When did you go to the chiropractor? When did you get these lofty, luxurious tastes? Man, look at this guy. He goes and he majors in chemical engineering, gets a taste of the good life. Now he's like, oh, you should go to the chiropractor. Are you going to buy a house in Edina? Is that what you're going to do when you graduate? You get your job? Are you going to apply for jobs in Edina or Winnetka or Martha's Vineyard? What luxurious estate are you going to live in? Chiropractor. We've all been pulling our backs for years, and we all just rest up and we're fine. Don't become one of them girls. Well, you gotta go to the chiropractor. And I saw on a podcast one time, and here's some essential oils. Now, Deep Blue, or also Bengay, or any one of those, Icy Hot, one of those products. Those do work. Those are fine. I'm not going to a chiropractor. Taboo Smash, $2. I thought you were on vacation. I am on vacation. I'm doing what I want. It's like to treat the pain and the anger and the rage. I'm just doing this so I'm in a better mood so that when I go to the poker game, I'm not mean. Also, it being hot and humid doesn't help either. It's a hot day. It's not as hot as some places in America right now. But it's still too hot to go out and I wouldn't be able to work the retaining wall anyway. The Cabinet Man, $2. Rubber band still twisted. I see chat over 1,000K. Yeah, we got him to 1,000K. But if you guys kindly would, after you subscribe here, because I want to get to 100,000. If you kindly would tune in to the Elkins Accounting Hour, watch it on YouTube. He needs to get to 4,000 hour viewing hours in order for him to qualify. So it's not just get to 1,000 and then you subscribers, then you're monetized. You have to have 4,000 watch hours. And he has well over 10,000 views, I'd imagine, by now. But people only watch for like 20, 30 minutes. So if you kindly would, watch the whole thing. I mean, just throw it on in the background. Listen to it. It's coming up on a weekend. Everyone's off for Friday, right? Did you do your homework? Just tune into it and listen to it, and then listen to another one. And I would be very thankful, and he would be very thankful. I mean, he'll get to the 4,000, but it's kind of like, listen to the whole thing. And the rubber band will forever be twisted. Dung is fun, $2. Cappy cracked his back. Cappy cracked his backy, and now he feels crappy. Thank you, Dung is fun. Thank you for the little poem. Competent Man, $2. Taking Juneteenth off to celebrate. No, I'm not going to burn any buildings down. Sorry, that's wrong of me. What is that? Is that the 17th? Or I don't. It's a made up holiday. They just made it up. I'm not taking Juneteenth. The banks are taking it off, and I am on vacation. to finish up the house and all that. I'm taking a vacation from asshole consulting. I'm also taking a vacation from any kind of serious tweeting or anything. I have fun. I joke on the internet. I'm okay. I said I was going to be doing podcast, but it really was to take off from asshole consulting. So no, I'm not going to celebrate. I don't want to wait. Look, how to tell you're a normie. Example 327. You celebrate holidays because every other day you got to work. Like really, I mean, your birthdays, any of you still celebrate? Like Christmas, it's more of an obligation. But I don't want my best days to be like contingent on celebrations where you get days off according to the government. I want to be like, I had a great Tuesday. I'd rather have my days be all good and above average than have crappy average days and have like an occasional one be good. I want great days, every day a great day. And damn, did I lay the foundation and the infrastructure for that. Check out your three. I scanned those or scanned them, pulled the data off of them a long time ago. So I don't have any 3.5-inch floppies anymore. That's all been backed up. Very thorough with my data. DJ Aftershock for $5. My company tried to get people back in the office, but people refuse. So they're now offering 50% pay bump for people who do. People should demand that, to be honest. So they've been underpaying you all that much time. Now, in fairness to the employer, they're paying. They want you to come back. Say, okay, I'll come back for $50 pay. I mean, that's legit. That's better than what most employers are doing. But you'd be like, yeah, I'm not coming back to the office. It's not worth the $50 pay or 50% pay increase. I got to talk about the Duce, the mystery Duce. No one's owning up to it. By the way, today's podcast is brought to you by my classes on Teachable. They're linked down below. Achieving Minimalism, and then also Achieving Financial Excellence. The Minimalism class is $450 plus tax, and the Achieving Financial Excellence is $99 plus tax. And they're open for the rest of the month because I didn't want to dick around with. See how I did it? I did it early, so I didn't have to worry about. I didn't worry about having to open the class. I said it's open there, done. Not worrying about it. Also brought to you by The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey. Get his book. It's about living a calm and relaxed life. It's about achieving Zen. It's modern day Stoicism. It's Marcus Aurelius, but for today's time. And you can see I'm mastering it perfectly. But it was a very good book. I found it incredibly practical. You can find that on Amazon. The Way of Monkey book. Also, The Menu: Life Without the Opposite Sex. And The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI of the pursuit of women, an actuarial statistical analysis on what kind of return on investment you could expect for all that time, money, resources, and emotion and psychology you spend on pursuing the girls. Red Hawk. $5. Got screwed out of $2,000 today because my boss doesn't have my back. Last time I do extra work for him, hard work doesn't pay off in America anyway. Yep. There you go. Did a video before this one about how do I find employees? Why can't I find employees? Like, well, stop cheating them. Pay them more. Not that hard, but yep. Go work for the competition or work for yourself. Ice Nose, $2. Cappy, you're a brave and amazing YouTuber and life coach. Don't forget to add that insult. And Carlson School of Management graduate. Don't forget to add that. John G, $10. Have a great day, Shlomo. Thanks for all the great content over the years. Been a long day of having nothing to worry about, and my life mostly being a vacation. Much well, good. Sounds like you got it dialed in there too. Sounds like you got everything. Oh, it's so close. I'm so close. Just so close. Atham for $2. They say going to the chiropractor is a good idea. Okay, thank you. I should have. Has anyone ever bought that domain, theysay.com? You could just post the dumb crap women tell you, your wife, they say. Also want to get research shows and studies suggest .org. David 128, they say a recession has got. I've had a curious observation about this. Since the disease, have we ever left a recession? Like, okay, the Trump economy was really good. Not great, it was really good. All right, really great would have been the Reagan recovery, but you guys are all too young to remember that. But once the disease kicked in, haven't we been in recession since 2019? Like, I'm kind of curious how low is the standard for economic growth? I know it's growth, but it's been paltry and everyone's miserable. Labor force participation rate is down. I can't believe GDP is increasing with so few people like working. I'd have to look at the GDP, but this is from say 2019 to now. This has not seemed like booming economic time. And now we're going into recession. I'd say once you made people put on the adult face diapers and said the sky was falling and don't go out. I guess the only way you could say that the economy wasn't in recession is because we dropped so much. What was it, 14%, or was that inflation? The economy tanked so quickly, albeit for a short period of time, that it recovered. It's like, we're out of it now. Well, yeah, booming. I don't have to look it up. I don't even have to look it up. We're below what, 2%? Maybe there was like a recovery quarter or two from the lows, so it it boosted. But don't tell me we're at 3 or 4. Certainly not 5s, 6s. And now we're in a recession. I don't know if we ever left the recession or left the recession, frankly. Have we adjusted for inflation? There's no way we're in good economic times. DJ Aftershock, $2. No one returned. They are now gonna bump it to 70. 70% increase? Why would they? Boomer bosses. Who knows what lurks in the minds of boomer bosses? TT, $2. Love your books. Keep up the good works. Thanks, TT. New guy. You should all buy my books. That way, all my money can go to poker games. I've been finding a pretty regular poker game, not a huge anything like a $20 buy-in. You can always go to Deadwood and gamble, but you got to buy in with like $100 worth of chips. Games I play at are for charity, and they raise money for different organizations. But you got a little skin in the game, so you don't want to bet thousands of. Let me explain gambling to you, okay? You're not going to get rich. You're going to lose your money, all right? And what you got to look at it is, okay, how much am I paying per hour to be entertained and have fun playing cards or gambling? This is why you go to the penny slots or nickel slots or something like that. Blackjack is horrible. Don't play blackjack. But if you can get into a good poker game, poker is fine. But the it's to view it as entertainment. And so you could find some pretty good for $10-20 can last you several hours. It's a good old time. But if you get addicted to it, yeah, then you don't want to do that. But thanks for buying the books. But yeah, today's proceeds, today's super chat monies go to mouse poison. And I think prairie dog poison, rodent poison. People like, oh, you just piss away. Like, there are certain people who I would say piss away their money. Now, they have cash for it, but they piss away their money on stupid, luxurious goods. Watches, clothes, cars. And I disagree, but it's their money they can do it. And they're not borrowing it. But I don't piss away my money, really. I think one of the more egregious things would have been the shuffleboard and the table Pac-Man. And my poker games here and there, and lawnmower, septic tank, solar panels, and rat poison. Just once, I'd like to have the money and the pros. I have nothing else to. Yeah, I want to buy myself a really expensive watch. I don't think I'm ever going to get there. Don't think I'd rather donate to Thor and Missy for her medical fund, which you guys should be too. Donna Hannaford, $5 Australian. Whoa, you up? 5 a.m. over there, dear. A Coronachan on a Saturday morning. What panels you getting on your roof? How many are they? Chinese ones? They are the solar power kind. I don't know. It's a reputable company. Several people referred them. I looked them up. Hopefully the solar panels are good. I don't know. I'll tell you this, they're more reliable than the young Gen Alpha and Gen Zers not majoring in electrical engineering and becoming electricians. I know they're more reliable than that. I even got a little small back, like that Jackery 1000 that I bought. I even got those as backups. I will not live in the dark. DJ Aftershock, $2. Come on, man. Dude, bro, Wings at Old Chicago at 4, man. Is there even an Old Chicago open anymore in the Twin Cities? They're all probably closed by now. Hold on. All right, I got to talk about the Magic Mystery Deuce. I'm out doing something. I don't know what I was doing. And Chad and Atham were over here. And the Great One had just visited and he took off. So Chad comes up to me and he's like, hey, you got like a toilet plunger or something, Claire? I'm like, yeah, why? The Great One left this huge deuce in the toilet. And I said, what? We got to cut it up. Like, Great One? Because he was there. Picking up some of his remnant things. You could see him. You could listen to him at sinlibsoc.com. Cynical Libertarian Society abbreviated. Sinlibsoc.com. And so I guess it was a monster. I didn't get to see it. But I got a picture of Chad with the toilet plunger cutting up the monster deuce of South Dakota. And so we all immediately assumed it was the Great One. Because Atham was there and he didn't leave no magic deuces, and Chad's too small to leave a huge deuce. The deuce was as big as Chad. So there's a picture of Chad cutting it up with the plunger. And so there was crisis. We got to get the plunger outside, wash it off, disinfect it. But somebody, not me, left a monster deuce. And I remember one time, and maybe you guys had this awesome experience when you were a kid. You'd be at school and either one of the fat teachers or the janitors would and they would leave a monster turd in the boys' bathroom. And they wouldn't flush it either because it couldn't be flushed or they wanted all these other boys to have this experience. And I remember, I think we were in the 3rd grade, all coming in out of a playground. Come on, guys, look at this. Check it out, guys. And there it was. This thing, it was the size of a football. And we're like, who left it? What God left us this gift? And I'm kind of sad I didn't get to see this deuce because it was that big it couldn't be flushed. In my own house, this gift given to me in my own house. I didn't even see it. I do have a picture of Chad, so lackadaisically trying to cut up the turd. And it must have been big because I ended up going to the bathroom in that toilet later on, like weeks later, and I hit the flush. And it's not that I'm like, really? So I'm like flushing it multiple times. There's still some remnant of it there. So we all thought it was the Great One. And then, so I texted the Great One later on. I say, oh, hey, by the way, thanks for leaving the monster douche, a deuce in my toilet. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you didn't leave a massive turd in my toilet? He's like, no. I'm like, really? So now there's only a couple culprits left. All right. In God's honor, I did not leave it. I did not. I'm not capable of that. I'm also going to assume Chad's a smaller guy than me. He didn't leave it. Atham's main plate was with us. She's smaller than Chad. There's no way she left it. My GF, she wouldn't leave it. She'd be so embarrassed. She wouldn't. That leaves only one person, and that's Atham. And you tell me, is he not the type exactly to do that and blame it on someone else? He is mischievous. He is the mapache. What was it? The raccoon? El raccoon? Of course. I wouldn't put it past him in half a sec. Absolutely not. And now he is suspect number 1. He's the prime suspect. Because I don't think Great One has no reason. Oh, really? Really? Not you, but who was it? Your little twig of a girlfriend there? Somebody left a monster Duce in my toilet. And ain't no one taking responsibility for it. Some rando walked a mile off the road to come and drop one and no one saw him. Didn't pick him up on the security cam. No woman could leave this dude. Well, maybe Tess Holiday. Yeah, but it could have been. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Adam P. 153. He makes a good point. Atham always leaves super chats about Mexican poops. Isn't that very interesting? But now he's claiming he doesn't leave an actual historic world record Mexican poop. My toilet. I'm gonna getting great one in. I'll have you both on the show to find out who did, because it's not Chad. It is not Chad. Chad he's not capable of pooping that big. And to testify, he saw it. That thing. Did we get a picture? Did anyone think to take a picture? Oh. So that's a Mexican poop mystery. Yes, so far I'm blaming you, Atham. Until you can prove otherwise. So that's the Mexican poops. Let's go through the super chats, and then I'm going to take off a little bit. I got to get some food. God, what do you eat when it's hot? Gopher Hawk. It works well. The Gopher Hawk. Like, it's one of those days where it's just too hot to eat. Earlier this morning, I had some coffee. And I had the GF made me. Because, oh my God. Guys, I have yet to get gray pews, but it's got to be around the corner. I'm almost 50 years old. Okay, I made you all this food. Cool, thanks. All right, so here's the food. Is it in the fridge where the food normally is? I made you this and that. You mean because I couldn't see it in the glass containers what it was? I know she loves me. But God, there's a piece of those gals, they just got to have a child. Okay, I know you're doing well and you've bought housing since you were 24. You've never taken a pay, but okay, so here's the food. Okay, I'll be fine. All right, there's other stuff in the pantry. Got it. You're going to miss your flight. Let's go. But it's been so hot. I had some of this salad. It was a cucumber. It was a diced cucumber, tomato with red onion salad with a vinaigrette. It was awesome. It was great. Thank you, babe. Yes, I know where it was. I found it. It's there. And that was cool and crisp, but even that I could only get about half of it down. And then you just go out. You guys remember we did that when we were kids. You'd be out there playing all day on a hot summer day. And you just didn't want to eat. Like, you drink a lot of water from the water hose, and nobody died. Nobody died. That's maybe why all the younger generation of men are such pussies. They don't drink from the water hose. They got their filtered water in the Brita or the Brita. Ooh. Yeah. Hose water. We drank hose right out of the spigot. Yep. Right out of the spigot. Yep. There we go. A lot of times, didn't even wait to see if a spider came out. We probably should have, but it never happened. Live to talk about it to this day. And yeah, it's one of those days where I was like, I had a lot of soda water, had a cigar, a little bit of Diet Coke with it. But yeah, I'm just like, oh, but I do got to eat something. Got to eat something. Dung is fun, $5. I heard you say Ben Gay. How long, Cappy? Not as long as TJ Martinell. Hey. You can find him at tjmartinell.com. Super Penguin, $54.95 midterm election predictions, Cappy. I think the Republicans are going to gain congressional seats, House and Senate. I think you will see some mayors of major metros go away. I think when we do the post-election analysis, it will not be that the Republicans showed up in mass, but the Democrats are so demoralized. I think you're going to have weak showings with younger people, women, and minorities. More maybe not women. You're going to have women are not going to show up as much, Democrat women, but young people and minorities because of the gas prices. Heck, half of them might not be able to afford to drive to the damn polls if things keep going this way. I think, and there's nothing sexy about Biden. Obama, at least, he's not white. Here's an old white guy who's questionable whether he's alive or not. I mean, how do you get excited about him? He's just, and if you look in his background, he's nothing fancy. He's just a spoiled trust fund baby. That's all. So I think minority voters, younger voters, and to a lesser extent, general Democrat voters are not going to show up because they're poor. What's happening, inflation and especially gas prices is disproportionately hurting poor people. And I feel bad for you, but you did vote for it. Although I will admit, Trump, you could blame Trump 40%, Obama 40%, and Biden 20% for the inflation. But the gas prices, oh yeah, that's Biden. That's legit Biden. Yeah, just they won't show up. It's also not a presidential election. So a lot of people just aren't going to show up in general because Americans are idiots. Cyberscape E, $5. Any guy who name drops Ministry or KMFTM is cool with me. When did I drop those guys? It must have been a previous. Yeah, dude, I remember Guar, going to 2 Guar concerts and moshing and all that. Thanks for the rants and keep up the good work. Now yell it with me. I hate the boomers. I judge individuals, but as a group, yes, I hate the boomers. Like if I had to, like, on average, do I like them or hate them as a group? I hate them as a group. Thank you. Dave, 128, $2. 2 old Chicago's left. Eden Prairie and Rosa. Oh, the one in Uptown isn't around anymore. But that's where all the action was. Nothing better than seeing windows replaced with plywood in Uptown. That was good. Did you know, Mad? $2 Canadian. My date wore a dress and made me dinner. Whoa! All right, Digi. I hope you treated her nice. She wore a dress and made you dinner? Oh, wait, is this your wife? Well, I mean, is this like a first date? Or have you been dating a bit and she's in the nice stage now? But regardless, hat tip to the lady. Thank you very much for being a nice gal. Scrolling. Dave, 128, $2. The other happy hour place used to be oh, is there a Champs? Hang on. There's a Champs? There was a Champs in Minnetonka. Those used to be all over, and Champs permanently closed. Oh God, I got to tell you guys about Champs. All right, so before ballroom dancing had its renaissance in the late 90s, and definitely before ballroom dancing, Champs was the place to go. That was where the then younger boomers went to go get laid. That's where they went. And that was the hey, how you doing? And talking to girls at the Cheers. I mean, that was it. That was it. And I remember distinctly when I was doing swing dancing and salsa and all that, a lot of older people would come in who, boomers at the time. Like, yeah, I just got sick and tired of Champs. I got sick and tired of the bar scene. I could imagine, because, like, when did that start? When did going to the bar to meet girls, that had to start in like the late 60s? I'd be very curious about the history of that, because we're no people doing that in the 50s. Certainly not the early 60s, but that must have happened in the late 60s, and definitely because it was in full swing in the 80s. That's where you went. And so I was a much younger man back. I was in my teens probably by that time. So you couldn't even get to the bar a lot of the times. Even when you were 21, like, let's go to the bar. Go to Sergeant Preston's, bro. Go to Grandma's, bro. Go to the Big Ten, bro. Sally's. Yeah, I remember I'd be patrolling. I was 19. I couldn't go into the bars. But you'd see all the rich kids with mom and dad paying for their beer, going to Sally's. But Champs, that's where the older ones went. And now that's done. That's over, huh? No more hitting on girls at bars, huh? I gotta check out. That's Champs is closed. I don't think they're around any other place in the country, but that's like Sears closing. It tells you a generation has passed. Um, but man, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. There is no more Champs. Oh, too bad. So sad. Mark Magana, hey, how have you been? Where have you been, man? How's real estate? Hey, Aaron, I'll be in Sioux Falls and Vermilion, South Dakota. That's the other side of the state. Anything cool I should check out in that southeast corner of South Dakota? No. Restaurants, museums? No. I will say, okay, there's two things. They got a Brazilian barbecue place, like all you can eat meat in Sioux Falls. And I think it's called Frankie's. I could be wrong. But a really nice cigar lounge is downtown Sioux Falls. Oh, and for Sioux Falls, all the streets are one way. Don't get messed up with that. I kept going the wrong way on one ways one night. Yeah, so, but no, there's nothing in Sioux Falls. Nothing in Vermilion. I guess you go down to Omaha and get me some Rooster Booster Light at a QT. But yeah, what is dragging you out to Sioux Falls? There's really nothing there. All right. Goth Rocker, 10 generous dollars. Neighbors called the cops on me when I was a kid for drinking from their hose. What, really? Really? They called the cops on you because you drank from their hose? Oh my God. Yeah, your dad would set out the sprinkler, assuming your dad was around and your parents didn't get divorced. You know, for that short period of time your dad was around, they throw out the sprinkler, you run and jump through the sprinkler and went back and forth. Dave 128, when will show up to vote because of Roe versus Wade? Oh, all right. You got a point there, maybe. You know, the right to kill children is really important. Has anyone told them that it's a state right thing, that they could just go across state lines, that this is a good thing, that if you allow states to specialize in socialism and capitalism and religion or agnosticism, atheist culture or whatever, that you will have different states that you can live in that will be more utopian for your belief sets? Anyone? And for once, I like it that it's going the other way and they got to worry about maintaining ground that they gained, because it never ends. They're going to want free abortion. And then after that, like, I'm always curious, like, what's next with the left? Okay, monkeypox. What's next? What do you guys got next? Okay, the trans rights. What comes after that? What do you got cooking? What's up? What's in the assembly line? What craziness you got going on right now? Or most people are like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like, where's the next thing gonna be? Where's the next trade? It's got to be a trade. I don't think they've squeezed enough juice out of the mentally ill, fake or not, particularly the fake. I don't think they've squeezed enough juice out of that. They're gonna like, you have autism, you're discriminated against. Yeah, but I made it up. Shh. No, you have it. Vote Democrat. Here's some money. Oh, okay. This is better than working. Scrolling. DJ Aftershock 2 books. Yo, y'all. Let's get some American Eats, y'all. Hang on. Is Champs permanently closed? Champs closes. Fox and Hound and Champs closed 25 locations, even as the company received a lifeline unable to operate long to be put up for sale. Wow. I don't know what Fox and Hounds is. When was this? Oh, that was 2016. But bro, apps and wings. Champs closes last Ohio location at Lenox Town Center, February 2022. Wow, okay, so it was in other states. I guess boomers can't go out and drink anymore with all the meds they're on. Uh, Downtown Indianapolis sports ball champs. Oh, by the way, if you were wondering, I don't get it. Okay, one thing before I tell you more about champs, how could champs close? They had all walls, their entire walls were all televisions with sports ball on. How could champs close? You know what? They didn't have enough sports ball. If they had more sports ball and ESPN and ESPN2 and ESPN After Night and Sports Center and sports ball and pre-game shows, they would have stayed in business. They would have. Champs.com? The website's still open? How is this? What? Order online locations? Lansing and Victor. Lansing? Lansing, Michigan. Maybe their site is just still up. Wow, this is the so only 2 places are still open. Wow. All right. But yeah, I don't know how they canceled. How they closed. They had so many screens and televisions. Dung is fun, $10. When I was a kid in the 90s, we drank from the water hose, rode our bicycles, shot our plastic army men with their BB guns and Hot Wheels, and life was easy. I don't want to be kids in this generation. I remember the days you put the video game in and you played. There's no updating. There was no safety password code because there was violence in the game. I remember the games as being fun. Oh, the poor kids of this generation. Yeah, like as if school wasn't bad enough, being force-fed by the groomers known as the public school teachers that you're a different gender than what you not what you think you are. You never even considered it when you're 8, you know? So it's like, boy, I'd like to not be at school. That's kind of all you thought about it. Those poor kids. I mean, I know you millennials thought the boomers lied to you and screwed you up. Oh man, can you imagine the kids coming out now when they're being lied to about their sexuality? Dave won $22. Not only if champs had the women's sports ball. Yes. Yeah, if they had put the WNBA in, that would have made it. That would have made it. All right. That's it. I gotta go get some food. Thanks for joining me. I gotta get some food for that. Here's the mouse. There he is. Damn mouse. If you would sign up for the class, if you need to get your financial act together, 2 classes linked below. Got my books out for sale. Tune in to the Elkins Accounting Hour. That's it. I'll see you guys later.